Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another great episode of On Air with Pierre. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about our upcoming event, LeaderCast Clear Lake and LeaderCast Galveston County. We are also talking with Gina Kuper, Marketing Director of Mamacitas Restaurant, and also our friends Curt and Gardy from KHEA Radio, of which we're going to be hosting LeaderCast Galveston at their location. They're going to be coming here and talking to us. We are having a good time today, so be sure and stay tuned. Share this video out so that you can let your friends know that you are tuning in to today's episode of On Air with Pierre. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Today, we have the pleasure of bringing to you an exclusive interview. Last week, we caught up with Tim Williams. He is an actor, a singer, and he's also known as the Trivago guy. You might have seen him on the commercials on TV, and we got to talk with him in exclusive for On Air with Pierre. Let's take a look at the video. Rolling Stone magazine says, forget the Dos Equis, dude. Trivago guy is the most interesting man in the world, and I have him right here in exclusive for On Air with Pierre. Welcome, Tim. How are you today?
Oh, Pierre, I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me.
You just had a awesome performance right here in the Verizon studio at 100.3 The Bull.
That's right.
And but you're actually a native from Houston. And so tell us where you came from, and I think you ended up in Germany, or you live in Germany now. So tell us that story.
I live over there now. Yeah, I'm from Houston. I was born and kind of bred here, I guess. You know, I guess the growing up years would be from middle school through high school. I would say.
And I saw was Robert E. Lee.
I went to Robert E. Lee High School. Robert E. Lee Houston. There's Robert E. Lee Baytown, I think,
right.
And there's Robert E. Lee Houston.
Houston, correct.
I went to Robert E. Lee Houston. Of course, they've changed the name since then.
Sure.
It's called Wisdom High School now. But let me tell you, this place where we are right now was a dream for me to come to. First of all, to play here at the KILT The Bull.
Yep.
Because I listened to it so much as growing up as a kid, driving to school, going to school, doing this and that. And here we are, sitting in the Verizon Artist Lounge.
So there's, for your career, there's been music, there's been acting, there's been a little bit of everything, and I think a lot of people know you for you are the Trivago guy. How did that happen?
Oh, yeah, you were talking about Germany earlier. Yes, from Houston I made my way to New York, and from New York I made my way over to Germany.
Okay.
And I did a film over there, and fell in love with a girl, and fell in love with the city of Berlin itself. Berlin, Germany. Ooh, a lot of history there.
Absolutely.
But Trivago came about because I was over there, and a friend of mine that I knew, the producer, he asked me if I would do a voiceover for Trivago.
So it's a German company, right?
It's a German company out of Dusseldorf.
Okay.
3 guys started it, and dealing only with hotels. And they said, "Can you do this little voiceover for us for a commercial we have running in the States all over?" It wasn't me. I just did the voiceover. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, "Can you jump in and be the face of our next commercial?"
Okay.
And I said, "Sure." I just do the one commercial and make some money and get out. And,
right.
And then bingo, there was no escaping.
So now it's the Trivago guy. There's memes out there. There's what's your favorite meme that you have out there for you?
We mentioned that a little bit earlier. There's one on Funny or Die. If you guys go to that, I don't know the guy's name, but everybody knows what Funny or Die is. And if you go to Funny or Die and you punch in Trivago, or you can punch in Trivago spoof or whatever, you're gonna find there's a few of them out there. But this guy from Funny or Die is pretty funny. Pretty funny. I mean, he just goes, it's the whole 1 minute commercial, making fun of it, making fun of me, the way I look, and just making fun of the whole thing. But what's really cool, and what I've noticed, because I live in Germany and I do come back a lot more these days, come back home, and I have a business in New York as well. But to come back and you look at television, and to know that Trivago did one commercial this way, and there was never any commercials like that before, but now all these people are doing these swipes, and there's websites flying everywhere. They kind of
Right.
Trivago started something kind of new with those
Kind of
commercials.
paving
And it paved
the
way
trail,
for
right? Trailblazers.
a new style.
You know, as a an actor, but also a musician, you have seen kind of the evolution of what you're talking about, the website, the social media. What have you seen is the biggest shift in the way people do marketing and branding and in your career that you've seen?
Well, let me tell you, there is a shift. There's a shift that's going on right now, I think, and it's good that you brought that up because I'm doing a show right now. Actually, it's kind of it's not a spoof on me so much. It's not really a spoof on Trivago. It's nothing like that. We're just coming up with an idea for a new television show, so we've been fooling around with that and shooting things. But you know, I think these days commercials. Well, of course, we have social media.
Right.
Thank God for social media and all the other things that we have. But that helps broadly, very, very
Amplify.
big, and it amplifies
Sure.
it. But what I've read about and what I've seen more lately is that they're going to try to do, you know, you got 15-second commercials, 30-second commercials, 60-second commercials. Why not have your own television show? And based on your brand, which I've been reading about in Hollywood Reporter, they're trying to do this to start branding shows. So you have your own show.
We know somebody that's trying to do that too ourselves. That's basically, you know, one of the concepts that we're doing. Excellent. So you've definitely seen that be a transformation of going from these what we used to have kind of like the big four mega stations, and then everything would sort of flow through there, and now that power has sort of, you know, it shifted over to us being able to have access to produce and make good high quality content, whereas 10-15 years ago, I mean, you'd have to spend so much money to do that. Now you got Facebook Live, now you have people on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram Live, and all these platforms that you know, to like you said, help amplify people's message. And so all of that, you are just in the process, or you just launched an album, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that album. It's called Magnolia City. All right. So tell us about Magnolia City.
Well, Magnolia City, I've grew up loving country music, and I've always wanted to do music as well. So this was the genre I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to make a country album. Living with in Germany, he writes with me. He writes a lot. He does a lot of the writing for me as well. I mean, I come up with ideas, and I'll come up and say, we're going to do this. I want to sing about this. I want to sing about that. And then we'll get together, and he's very structurally good with music. And so I said, okay, we're going to work together. Magnolia City came about because I love country music, but I get a little worried about the new styles of country that come out there, this fast-paced other style that takes me away from the old Waylon Jennings days or Merle Haggard days, the simple stories of country music, and, you know, not getting so hip-hoppy.
Right.
And I just decided I'm going to make my own album that brings me back to my style, what I like.
Right, and I read on here that you, a lot of the stuff we're talking about, longing for home, for Houston, for the memories growing up and the things that you experienced here. How important is the memories you've made in Houston and the memories that you have of Houston, you're growing up when you're in Germany?
It's, you know, I'm 8,500 miles away from Houston when I'm over in Berlin.
Right.
So, you know, we don't have James Coney Island over there. We don't have the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
World's biggest rodeo.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, just to be able to hold on to these thoughts and memories, and thank God for FaceTime and, you know, Skype and all that. I can, you know, stay in touch with my family. I have 2 children. My grown boy is over there. My little boy is over there. So, and what's really cool is my little boy was just over here for Christmas, and he said, I want to live in Houston.
Wow.
I want to move to Houston. I love Houston. And I said, okay, well then come on, let's go. Get in a new school, and let's go over there. And
Magnolia City is the name of the album.
It's the name of the album and the name of the single.
The name of the single as well.
Yeah.
Available on all the digital platforms.
All digital platforms.
How can folks get connected with you? Social media, online, website, all the good stuff.
My Facebook is the Tim Williams. Or would that be the Instagram? I think it's the Instagram is the Tim Williams. My Facebook is Tim Williams. But be careful because there's 2 other Tim Williamses out there that do music. And one does music and acts as well. So I think my Twitter was, my site is williamstim.com.
WilliamsTim.
www.williamstim.com. There you can buy all the music. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on all the digital platforms. Magnolia City, Tim Williams, go pick it up.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tim, for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
You are watching On Air with Pierre. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Pierre. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Every meeting and group event deserves to be at South Shore Harbor Resort. From extravagant to intimate, trust us to make your next business event a success. Perfectly located just 30 miles south of Houston, South Shore Harbor Resort is the largest full-service waterside resort in Southeast Texas. Mixing business with pleasure has its benefits. Our executive chef has created a delicious menu full of the best local ingredients. With upscale, casual, and poolside dining options, there is something for every appetite. Business has never been easier with such amazing choice of meeting spaces that provide a relaxed waterfront setting. Our state-of-the-art amphitheater is perfect for delivering a winning presentation. Swim, float, or paddle up to the poolside bar and enjoy the sun in our amazing 185-foot tropical oasis pool. Or take your time and lounge around in one of the beautiful private cabanas. You're going to sleep well in our luxurious, spacious, and airy rooms, furnished with plush bedding and a maritime theme. Business does not have to be all business while conferencing at South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. Memories made here.
This up and be like, look what I brought you.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to On Air with Pierre. Be sure and get connected with us on social media at Top Star Events and Entertainment to find the replay videos of today's show. And ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Gina Kuper of Mamacitas Restaurants. Please help me welcome Gina.
Hi.
Gina, we go a little bit back to I think it was maybe my Chick-fil-A years when you and I met back in the chamber.
So it's been infancy.
Infancy, yes. But Mamacitas goes back way even further. I mean, we were talking about off air. You guys have been around for over 45 years.
Yes.
And Mamacitas is a staple in the community for good food. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with Mamacitas.
Well, I obviously got involved. Short story, I finished college and I said, I'm going to help you out for a little bit. But unbeknownst to me, I didn't know the amount of work it took to run a family-owned business. Luckily for me, it's been a blessing. I've learned a lot of things being in the business. So I've been there over 12 years. And my primary position is to market for the company, also do a little bit of HR, and just kind of find new and innovative options to make us grow where we're at. We've done awesome over 45 years. We're still growing. We're still here. And to be in that industry and to be a family-owned restaurant,
right?
It's amazing to still be here in the Bay Area.
So those are, two sort of even kind of separate subjects there. One, the world of growing up in a family-owned business,
right,
which means that you're born into that environment. And so whether it's healthy pressure or sometimes not as healthy pressure, you sort of you got to help out. You got to contribute.
Right.
But for you, that's been a blessing. That's been something that you've liked to be a part of. And then the second subject is the restaurant space, which is a tough and very competitive space to be in. That to be around for 45 years, that certainly says something. So let's start off with the first subject. When you grew up, and I mean, like, did you see like mom and dad always talking about the business? What was like your childhood growing up and like seeing Mamacitas and you're like, one day I'm gonna be the marketing person, or what was that like?
Well, I didn't know that we were already in demand when we moved to Bay Area.
Okay.
I think when I moved here, I was in middle school, and somebody said, what do your parents do? And I said, they own restaurants.
Okay.
I didn't know how popular we were.
Sure.
People were like, hey, can you hook me with fajitas? And that's how people started knowing who we were. It was
Sure.
like, you want to talk to Gina? She'll hook you with fajitas. And that kind of became a thing. And then
Right.
in high school, I kind of worked minimally in the business, but
Okay.
I really didn't see the incentive until I got out of school.
Okay.
And I love talking to our customers. I love being part of the marketing. I love being part of the projects. And just developing to see where we go from here with my parents on board, with Mr. and Mrs. Alma Joe Gonzalez. So we've been awesome and on board, and we're excited for things that are coming up.
Sure. So when you think about the growth, you guys started off with one location, and then to 2, and then to 3, and y'all are at 4 locations now.
Correct.
So tell us, where are those places?
So our original location is called El Jardín, and it's off of Harrisburg, going towards the east end. It was my grandfather's, and essentially started with my parents and my grandfather, and the recipes derived from my grandmother, who is Maria Hassel. So our philosophy is to incorporate the love of your cooking and continue with the tradition. And we've been cooking those same recipes since 1975.
Okay, so El Jardín would be your first location,
Yes.
and then there's 3 additional ones.
Yes, and then they decided to say, you know what, we're going to make a name for ourselves. There's nobody in the market touching the Clear Lake area. Let's try it.
Okay.
And so they opened Mamacitas on the Bay, which is originally on Eager Bay.
Gotcha.
And then they got a blessing to get a bigger offer down the street where we are now on NASA.
Okay.
So we've been 23 years and later, still here.
Sure.
Still family owned. And then from then we've opened 4 locations. So we employ about 230 employees right now.
Wow. And what do you believe is some of the, maybe kind of there's the secret sauce in terms of the food that you guys prepare, and then there's also like some best practices in terms of your culture, your employees, to have 230 people that you're responsible for, and that's a big tall order, right? And so what are some of the things that you've seen are kind of what helped drive the success of people being loyal to working for y'all?
I think it's really keeping afloat the philosophy that we have in place, keeping that tradition, not taking it essentially away from our culture.
Right.
People know us from our tagline, which is supremely fajitas and ritas at Mamacitas.
Okay.
And I mean, if you ask anybody, that's how they connotate and they resonate with who we are.
Sure.
We're family owned, so you'll see a lot of us there, which is unusual.
Right.
To see somebody hands on.
Sure.
And we have a lot of loyal customers that just go there because they know what the expectation is. They know the experience is going to be the same.
Right.
And they know that we can talk. It's not like corporate where we just like walk off. We're like hands on. We treat you just like our family member.
Well, I got to tell you, I've eaten at Mamacitas I've actually eaten probably there a little bit more than I should have.
Pierre's favorite.
Oh my gosh, you brought
glory.
some queso. Woo. Like we oh my god, I'm at a loss for words here. So this is the delicious queso from Mamacitas restaurant, and if you haven't had it, and I think you and I had a conversation at one point that you guys for your queso, like y'all it's made in house.
Yes.
This isn't like you like store buy it and bring it in to serve it. Yes. Like you guys tell me about the process that goes into making the delicious queso.
Can't tell you too much, Pierre.
Oh, come on.
But we are going to be coming out with YouTube videos on some recipes, not all of them.
Okay.
So that's going to be something new and something that we're going to connect with our loyal patrons to kind of expose a little Mamacitas, but not too much of Mamacitas.
Give them a little bit of a slice of the tradition that you were talking about.
Yes.
And, I definitely think folks that have been there would agree that the food has got an excellent taste, and it's got a great customer service that you have there. And for those of our folks that are tuning in, we're talking with Gina Kuper, the marketing director for Mamacitas Restaurants. We're going to take a short little break to thank our sponsors that help make this show possible. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Gina some more about some upcoming events that they have going on, including Cinco de Mayo, a great opportunity to celebrate. So stick around and be sure and share this video, because we are going to be giving away a gift certificate to Mamacitas Restaurant for $50. How much queso can you buy for $50? Oh my gosh. So we're going to be giving away that delicious gift certificate. Look at me. I'm saying delicious gift certificate.
Make sure you keep it going. Put hashtag love your Mamacita.
Love your Mamacitas. Yes.
Exactly.
So stay tuned. Reshare this video. We'll be right back after the short commercial break. Being in the event and marketing space, looking your best is key. That's why I'm glad to be using the personal styling services of Macy's at Baybrook Mall. The services of Macy's My Stylist are complete and can offer you a personal shopper to guide you through it all. You're going to be getting the latest trends in fashion from the top brands. You'll go through a custom fitting that will allow your stylist to pull a line of options for your review. And the best part is, it's a complimentary service provided by Macy's. That's right, no charge for the service. And if fashionable trends isn't what you're looking for, you can always visit their beauty department for the latest in makeup and fragrances. So don't wait any longer and let a Macy's stylist take your look to the next level. You'll be glad you did. To schedule your appointment, call Michael Haddock at 409-370-3294 or book online at macys.com/mystylist. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, guys. We're back. Yes, and I gotta tell you, and I'm getting. Oh my gosh! Production team is bringing me chips, and there's queso. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if somebody. Gina, we may have you just take over the show and finish interviewing the rest of our guests.
That's fine.
So for our folks that are tuning in, we're talking with Gina Kuper of Mamacitas Restaurant, and they've been around in the area for a long time. They're a family-owned business, and you guys have some upcoming events that are going to be taking place to include an initiative to celebrate moms, right? So tell me about that.
So, I mean, we wouldn't really be where we're at without our mother. I think our mom's our matriarch.
Alma, right?
Alma Gonzalez.
Yes.
I'm actually enlightened that she's my mom because she's taught me so much. She's taught me to be an advocate for women and be an entrepreneur, be vocal. And I think this campaign that we're doing during Mother's Day, which is hashtag Love Your Mamacita, it's really to be appreciative to all the stuff that they've done, whether it's your mom or someone's like your mom or a sister, and taking initiatives to recognize these women that are of influence.
Sure. And so there is a hashtag or something. Tell me about the way that people can showcase or shout out to their mom and blend in with Mamacitas. How's that going to work?
So during the weekend of Mother's Day, we are going to select a winner.
Okay.
That kind of just stands out, but make sure you use the hashtag Love Your Mamacita.
Okay.
And take a picture of a woman that you consider your mom, like I said, or influencing your life.
Absolutely.
And load it to our Instagram or to our Facebook, our social platforms.
I love that because it's sometimes we have people in our lives. It doesn't have to be your blood or your biological mom.
Right.
You can have been adopted. You could have been raised by an aunt, by a grandma. The circumstances in life sometimes don't permit for us to have our biological parents raise us. And so the hashtag Love Your Mamacita is kind of sort of playing ode to the power that moms that are raising kids out there can have in the influence that they carry.
Raising initially brave women that are fearless.
Sure.
Taking that next step, and so it's time to do that move. Luckily for us, we celebrate Mother's Day on Mexican and Americans' Mother's Day. Which
nice.
It's
so for that
after.
Weekend, people can upload their photos. They can do it on Instagram. They can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Twitter.
Yes.
And so what happened? You guys are going to pick a submission.
Yes, we're going to do a random selection. So we'll invite you as a guest to host a family of 4.
Okay.
To have a nice dinner.
Nice.
Be treated, because moms need to be treated too, or women need to be treated sometimes. So
I've always found it
so do guys.
interesting. So my mom is a huge cook who she happens to be in Peru right now. So if mom you're watching, hello down over in Peru. And she is
I know you're always with your mama.
Well, she gets stuck having to do the cooking for things like the Mother's Day lunch, or even sometimes for her birthday, we've done parties where she ends up cooking and stuff, and it's like, well, this is kind of odd because we're supposed to be celebrating you, and she's ending up doing all the work and stuff. And so definitely I love my mom, and I think this is great that you're doing that. Now, the other thing that's happening in May, which is a celebration that we all love, is Cinco de Mayo. So tell me about that.
Cinco de Mayo is one of our biggest festivities. We have mariachis, we have DJs, we have promotions, It's going to start roughly around 4, and it's probably not going to end till 11. We're going to have plenty of parking.
And this is on May 5th.
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to fall on a Sunday. But
Okay.
you know what? We'll be having things leading up to that day, so you can celebrate the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. But that's
Okay.
our biggest event.
All right.
And if you need to find parking, Splish Splash has partnered with us next door.
Okay.
So you can park there. You will not get to it, I promise.
Awesome. And so the party kicks off at 11. You guys will be there all day.
All day.
There's going to be mariachis.
Yes.
There's going to be delicious food. And there's also going to be a lot of... Do you know what is that?
Tequila.
Tequila! Yeah! Well, and delicious chips. Yeah! Look at that. Our production team is having a good time. Woo! Gina, I want to thank you so much for coming to talk with us. We could have a blast here all day.
I know.
We're going to take a short little commercial break because I want to eat some queso. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with Curt and Gardy, our friends from KHEA Radio who have lots of fun projects. We have a Leader Cast Galveston County that's coming up. And also be sure and share this video because we are going to be giving away a $50 gift certificate to Mamacitas, your favorite Mexican restaurant in the Bay Area. Gina, if people want to get connected with Mamacitas, how can they do that?
They can just go on our social platforms,
Okay.
or just make sure you hashtag fajitas and Ritas, and Supremely Mamacitas.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back. Rolling Stone magazine. Oh, I think you guys caught me again. Sorry, I was just about to dip my chip into the queso from Mamacitas. I guess I'm going to have to wait. But it's okay because good things are worth waiting for. And right here in the studio, I have the pleasure of welcoming my good friends from KHEA Radio, Curt and Gardy. Yeah!
What's up, Pierre? How's it going?
How are you guys doing? High five.
Good to see you.
Can I just take that queso and just start drinking it?
You should have seen him in the back. I'm gonna release like a little video, or KHEA will. Dude,
I
Curt
did double
loves
dip into the queso.
Dude loves queso.
You love queso?
Oh, I'm
Well,
queso Curt.
And queso Curt. So what I was thinking would be kind of cool. I don't know, Curt, how you feel about this, but maybe doing something like...
Oh no! Oh my
No?
goodness.
All right.
That, I like how he was
Look
back
who-
there. Just
yeah.
like,
He just
Like
rolled
it was
out.
staged.
a magic trick. That was
This
impressive.
taco bit, it looks like it's been in rough shape.
Well, so the taco is taking a little bit of a tour.
Okay.
In the Bay Area. It's gone to a couple of places. Some of them, the places where we took them to, the people knew. Some of them, the people didn't know. When people found out that the taco was there, is when sometimes it got a little roughed up. But you know what? It's still in one shape, and I gotta tell you, I had a couple of shows ago, my friend DJ Forrest, who's one of the Houston's top rated DJs, and he told me, he says, I'm gonna help you get over to that 1,000 fan mark line on Facebook, and we're almost at 600. So I think between the taco and the help from my friend DJ Forrest, I think we'll eventually get there. And then at which point you will then be able to come back and pick up your taco.
One of these months we're going to show up and we're going to get this back. And then Ethan can go home and see his family.
He's
Well,
still holding up the studio
he's
with
still-
a load-bearing taco.
Well, and season 1 runs through June 26th, so I mean, there's
We'll get
only like 2-3 more opportunities.
So here's a secret. If you're watching on Facebook or you're going back and watching this later,
Yes.
here's what we need you to do. Go to Pierre Castillo Live, go to the community tab, and invite all of your friends to On Air With Pierre. It's a great opportunity to support local business. It's a great opportunity to listen to me and Curt, because I know you don't get enough through KHEA. So these are great opportunities. And you can invite all your friends to learn about everything Pierre has going on.
I gotta tell you, I watch typically daily, and you guys have proof because you see the people that are logging into the show. And so you know that I don't pay somebody to log in under my name to make it look like I'm listening. Although I kind of sort of just put the idea in y'all's head now that I've said it.
We had Rick Clappin the other day.
Yes!
You're like, hey, what's up? Because you had Rick Clappin here.
Yeah, we had. How was that?
It was
awesome.
Fun. It's great.
So you guys have had some really cool guests. Y'all do this 5 times a week versus me just once a week. But what are some of the things that y'all are getting to? What are some of the things you enjoy the most with some of the guests that y'all get to have on the show?
Well, like you're saying, we get a lot of food, and we like food. Curt likes queso. We got branded as like taco guys.
Yeah.
And so that's been. I mean, food is always fun. Finding ways to give back in the community is even better.
Yeah, I think today we had an event that's taking place on Saturday that they've asked us to be on their event. It's for pediatric cancer, and they're raising some money for that as well. And it was just really kind of cool to hear about pediatric cancer and talk about it. Those are things that for me, it's not just something I go around and study and learn, but when they come on the show, it kind of raises awareness for those topics that people may or may not be talking about.
So yeah, it's Saturday, and people will have the opportunity to donate for this cause, and just, I mean, cancer, it can hit anybody at any age, but it's just something like heart-wrenching whenever there's babies. There's babies that are born with cancer, and they haven't even had an opportunity to do literally anything yet. And so it's a great cause taking place Saturday. We're going to be there. It's in Friendswood, trying to help raise some money through social media and Facebook.
Now, speaking of babies, you recently had a really, really cool event. I'd never seen something like this at Abundant Life, and it was a community-wide baby shower. So give us a spiel. Who came up with that idea, and what are some of the things that happened at that event?
It was our executive pastor, Catherine Rudolph, which you have met.
Yes.
So she actually saw this idea that happened in Europe. There's a pastor family that we're friends with, and they had an event like this. And we hadn't seen one take place here. Maybe there has been one before. But what we did is we opened up the internet, our social media, our website. Hey, you have the opportunity to sign up. If you're pregnant, you're expecting, maybe you have a newborn baby, hey, sign up. We want to bless you with a diaper bag, diapers, strollers, baby beds. So we had a little over 400 people sign up, and then they came out, and we were able to pass out everything. But we didn't just do it alone. The church members, people in the community, like even some of our partners at KHEA said, hey, we want to donate, food so we can feed them while they're there.
And supplies as well. They showed up bringing diaper bags and baby bags and diapers and wipes and everything, formula.
And you had over 400 people sign up?
Yeah.
Over 400 moms?
Yeah, yes. 400 expecting
or soon to
mothers.
Be, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so that means that there's a lot of pregnant.
Nobody went in labor during the event, which is actually kind of
like shocking.
Yeah, because you think of the odds, like how many people are about to have a baby and nobody went into labor during the event.
You know why everybody's pregnant, right?
Why?
You have to thank 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my gosh!
So the time,
all the movies and all the influence that's out there. So this event was something that you guys did and had such a great response for. But I think too, part of it is that y'all have already built sort of a platform that people are very engaged with in terms of community stuff and positive things in the community. One of the things I love about what's happened, not just since we met, but also since you guys have kicked off the radio show and all this stuff, is that I really feel like y'all are making a noticeable dent in the type of content and media that people are digesting, which is pretty cool. Like, it's almost sort of like you could call it kind of like a movement, right? And when I sit down and talk with Chef Mary Bass and Natasha, who was here on the show talking about the Do Good Network and the different things, and then we had Joe Perez from Texas Chronicles, who's also very actively involved and supports the stuff that you guys do. And then when we talk about LeaderCast, leadership development, going to Abundant Life, it's really neat because I almost see this like we're sort of pushing in on the negative stuff that's out there, the negative news, the stuff that some of it for safety purposes we can't ignore, right? You know, like the chemical plant fire, like we got to stay informed of that. That's not something positive, but if it's happening, we have to be, you know, aware of it. But it's really cool that in this pursuit of building good community news, y'all are finding more and more and more, and other entities that have that same sort of, you know, pattern and feeling. So how do you guys feel as kind of being sort of a bit of trailblazers in that movement?
Well, it's fun. It's fun to meet all these people and to meet like-minded people doing cool events. So with that event that's taking place Saturday, the Snowdrop event, Kevin Klein from 93Q with the pediatric cancer. That's what that event is on Saturday.
Okay.
But we met him through it's Mrs. Leaning. She's a retired teacher at Santa Fe, and she started doing baking, cookies with the cause, and
sure,
it's really cool.
Yep.
So you meet these people and they're like, hey, I have a friend, or they see them on there, and it's just that web is just growing of people trying to make a difference and do something positive. So it's been fun. It's been pretty humbling, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that we've really looked at our radio station is we give glory to God, you know, that He's able to connect us to these people, that He's able to keep blessing us in different ways. We had a gentleman on our show a couple weeks ago. His name's Mike Rosas, and he was talking about why, because we were talking about how when we go out and we're in the community and we see people are stuck in doing it, well, this is how we've always done it. This is how it's done. This is how radio is done. This is how, but we're trying to find a new way of doing it. We're trying to find the best way, the radio done right, you know, kind of way of doing it. And it's being able to make those shifts and those adjustments. So while we're happy with what we're doing, we're always looking for that next big thing. You know, the vlogs that we started doing in the afternoons, those are all things that are showcasing what we're doing in the community and connecting these partners, but it keeps connecting and keep growing of what we're doing.
I love it. I absolutely love it. For those folks that are just now tuning in, we're talking with Curt and Gardy of KHEA Radio. They have a daily radio show that goes on 99.5, and also you can watch it on Facebook Live. Kicks off at 8 o'clock. Is that correct?
8:30-ish.
8:30-ish.
We add the ish because sometimes we don't get on until like 8:38. Sometimes we get on at 8:28. It just, you never know.
Sure. Okay, so around 8:30-ish, you can watch Curt and Gardy live from Monday through Friday, and be sure and get connected with them. We're talking with them. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're talking some more with Curt and Gardy. They have some cool stuff that they've got coming up. Also, a big giveaway that they have been promoting for, I believe, a cruise or something like that. So we are going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're talking with Curt and Gardy of KHEA Radio, and we also have Mamacitas in the house with some delicious chips and queso. We'll be right back.
I just want to.
Every meeting and group event deserves to be at South Shore Harbor Resort. From extravagant to intimate, trust us to make your next business event a success. Perfectly located just 30 miles south of Houston, South Shore Harbor Resort is the largest full-service waterside resort in Southeast Texas. Mixing business with pleasure has its benefits. Our executive chef has created a delicious menu full of the best local ingredients. With upscale, casual, and poolside dining options, there is something for every appetite. Business has never been easier with such amazing choice of meeting spaces that provide a relaxed waterfront setting. Our state-of-the-art amphitheater is perfect for delivering a winning presentation. Swim, float, or paddle up to the poolside bar and enjoy the sun in our amazing 185-foot tropical oasis pool. Or take your time and lounge around in one of the beautiful private cabanas. You're going to sleep well in our luxurious, spacious, and airy rooms, furnished with plush bedding and a maritime theme. Business does not have to be all business while conferencing at South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. Memories made here.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I am talking with my friends, my good friends, Curt and Gardy of KHEA Radio. Let's welcome back the guys to the house. Yeah. So you guys are doing a pretty big giveaway that's been pretty popular I think it's a cruise or something like that. Tell us about that.
What? We're giving
Give away
away
a
a cruise?
Yeah.
When did we hear about this?
Yeah, see, I find out sometimes before you even know, I find out about stuff.
So that is actually our featured post on our Facebook page at KHEA Radio on Facebook. If you haven't seen that cruise video, go like, share, and comment on that video, and you have a chance to go cruising at some point during this year. All the information is included on there. You do have to be 25 years or older, but it's still a free cruise that you get to go on that you don't have to pay a penny for if you don't want to.
Have you ever been on a cruise?
I have been on a cruise.
Did you have a good time?
It was actually a long time ago for my sisters. So I'm the oldest of three, and I have two younger sisters, Paula and Christy. Shout out to them if they're watching. So Christy, who was the youngest one, the middle one had a quinceañera. Me, I didn't have a quinceañera because that's,
Some guys do.
Some guys do, yeah.
I've been in a quinceañera. I didn't have one myself either.
Okay, so, but Christy is sort of kind of the most, she grew up basically here. And so she was like, I don't really want a quinceañera. I want, can we go on a cruise? We're like, what?
Yes.
So, anyway, long story short, we went on a cruise for her quinceañera, and she had her dress, her, really princess type dress, and we walked around the ship and people took pictures. It was a really cool experience. And so, yes, I have been on a cruise, but my point in sharing all that is that I'm due for a cruise again.
Well, you can win.
No, I can't win. I'm not the
Like,
legal.
share, and comment.
He's not 25, Curt.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
No, the legal print, I believe, says, employees, partners, advertisers, and stuff, aren't eligible to win. Plus, that wouldn't look
You
good
can
if
still
I
like,
won.
share, and comment. You just
But
ignore
here-
the fine print.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying though is you guys can't win either.
No,
So
they offered it to us. They said when the conversation happened, they're like, hey, we want you to go on this cruise.
Sure.
And we want you to go for free, and
Talk
you can go
about it.
live and talk about it
Right.
and experience it. And we said, we don't want to go. We want to give it away to somebody else because that's how much we care.
Plus, it's one room, and me
The
and
two
Curt
of
in
them-
the room. Can you imagine?
Man, my
So
girlfriend
We take
asked
breaks.
me.
We take breaks. He's like, don't answer my calls. I won't answer his calls. We spend a lot of time together. Can you imagine us being locked on a boat 24
Right.
hours together?
My
Yeah.
girlfriend said, can I break up with you so that I can win the cruise? And I said, well, first of all, I guess, but if you win, we're still not going to pick you. And she's like, you're going to be that petty? And I'm like, yep.
Yeah,
So
can
she's
you
like,
imagine you going back to your wife and then you going back to your girlfriend and being like, so we're going on a cruise, and they're like, oh, thank
No.
you, honey, when? And it's like, no, we are going on a cruise. So, so my thought was, heck, let's get a room and pack our production crew, Luis, Zach, you, and the five of us in a room on aboard the Royal Caribbean.
Okay, so I don't know what you went on that cruise for, but I don't know if 5 people, camera gears, and everything else can fit in there.
Hey, we did have an opportunity to go see the presidential suite.
Oh,
Okay.
my
And we could
God.
fit 50 people in that room. There was a baby grand piano in there.
Baby grand
Which
piano
didn't
in
make
there.
the video. Which
Yeah.
that was the best part. I can't play piano, but I was just
I
pretending
didn't
like I
want
could.
to show people thinking that they were going to be in a room with a grand piano.
That makes
That's
sense.
just not fair. But it exists. You can pay for that presidential suite and go on a cruise in style.
Wow. So there you go. If you want the opportunity to win a cruise, you got to like and share. This is currently their featured post on the KHEA Radio Facebook page. We also have an awesome event that is today, 30 days away. Can you believe it? 30 days away
Time flies.
from being able to be in front of to watch a message from some of the top world-class leadership experts. I am so excited. We have LeaderCast Galveston County that is coming to Abundant Life. Some of the speakers include Gail King, Patrick Lencioni, and the amazing Andy Stanley. Let's take a look once again at the short little clip about LeaderCast coming to the Bay Area May 10th, 2019. Let's take a look. And you have it right there, guys. LeaderCast Galveston County is coming to town May 10th, 2019. Curt and Gardy, you guys are planning on being there.
Yes.
Curt, I know you're planning on sneaking in. But I got to tell you, I told you last time, Colleen, our friend Colleen from the city of Lamarck, is involved in this event. And she said, I told her, I said, Curt is going to try to like sneak in somehow, and the tickets are licensed. So it's a really tight security to what are the plans? You got a smirk on your face. Tell me.
He doesn't know that I have ways because I have to get around that church pretty fast, because I have to go put out fires, because I'm the tech guy, right? Like if there's a tech issue, I have to go and make sure that the tech issue gets fixed. So I can kind of like run around that church, and I have ways to get access to places that you don't even know yet.
Wow.
I'll tell you all the secrets. I'll tattle.
Please.
Also, I can tune in through the cameras because I know how to.
If you're directing
everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, so here's what you got to know is you can go online to topstarevents.com to get your tickets to LeaderCast Bay Area Houston. So we've got 2 locations this year. Once again, that's happening May the 10th, 2019. We're going to be hosting at Star Cinema Grill at Baybrook Mall. And we're also going to be at Abundant Life Christian Center. We're so excited about being there. So I will tell you, one of my favorite speakers that I'm looking forward to is Andy Stanley. And I just posted on y'all's page not too long ago. Y'all got a new sound system. I mean, y'all are really like prepping for the arrival of this
specifically
event.
For this event. We could not have LeaderCast without the upgraded sound system.
Well, because when Andy Stanley speaks, it's like, I mean, he's gonna fill the room, right?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, the subs got flown yesterday or the day before, and now we're putting in the rest of the clusters. I mean, if there's another venue like this in the area that, I mean, we don't know about it yet, but it's going to be an amazing event. I'm excited to be able to be there, to be a part of it. And I know the city of Lamarck is. Colleen's blowing our phone up, being like, yes, a leadership conference like this, at this caliber in Lamarck, it's about time.
And it is. Lamarck is one of those places where I foresee Lamarck being the hub of what's going on. We talked to A&A Machine and Fabrication. We did our Shine On Lamarck there, and he was like, there's no other places around that's like the city of Lamarck.
Sure.
And I think having leaders and business owners all come together for a big event to learn and grow what can take place in Galveston County, I think is huge.
Hey, I want to tell you guys that I think May 8th, I believe, I'm looking at my calendar over here, we are going to be doing our first on-location show, meaning we're taking On Air with Pierre, we're taking it out in the field, so we're a couple of steps behind y'all. Whatever y'all do, we do it, but like maybe not as good and maybe later.
That's actually probably smart, though, because then it's like, hey, how did you, then you can just... Instead of doing it wrong like we do for a while.
Take note, Luis and Zach. Whatever they do, then we just learn. And then, right? And then, like, we look really good, whenever we're doing it.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, that's what Luis says as a producer. I confirm. That's been our strategy. So guys, we're planning on coming to y'all. See, some people are already calling for LeaderCast. Look at that, or Scam Likely, one of the two. So,
Scam Likely.
It's Curt calling,
be sure
actually.
It's Curt calling me. So we're excited because we're going to be taking the show to you guys on May the 8th. And then, of course, we'll probably be doing a little bit of broadcasting live as well for the day of LeaderCast. We want to thank our friends from Mamacitas, of course, for joining us today on the show. And be sure and get connected with them on social media and attend their Cinco de Mayo event, which is going to be lots of fun with mariachis. Curt and Gardy, I want to thank y'all for coming by. And I'm looking forward to LeaderCast Galveston County. It's going to be a great event. And I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have lots of fun. Thank you guys again for coming. Be sure and get connected with us once again on Facebook. We're going to be posting the replay links on our Facebook page at Top Star Events and Entertainment. If you don't have Facebook, you can watch this show online at pierrecastillo.com. We thank you so much for joining us today for On Air with Pierre, and tune in next week where we welcome. Let's see who's coming next week. Next week, we have Karen and Nelson, the actual mastermind behind putting together our set and redecorating our office. She decorated my house, and she's coming with some tips on how to revamp your home for the spring and the summer. So be sure and tune in next week. We're talking with Karen Nelson, our designer. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's On Air with Pierre. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.